13 News at 11 starts right now.
Breaking news tonight, another shooting in the D.C. area. A woman is dead.
Police are investigating the crime as if it could be the work of the serial sniper. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Let's get right to that breaking news story. A woman is shot dead in Falls Church, Virginia tonight.
And right now, police in that area are trying to determine if tonight's shooting can be traced back to the serial sniper who's responsible for 8 deaths in the past 12 days.
It happened around 9:15 p.m. in a crowded shopping center near the parking garage of a Home Depot. Police confirm it was a single shot that gunned down the woman.
She was hit in the head as she and her husband loaded packages into the trunk of their car. The fatal shot was fired from a van, and police have shut roads in that area.
Officers are specifically looking for a cream-colored Chevrolet Astro van, and police tell us the right rear tail light is missing.
The Astro van is one of 2 vehicles witnesses reported seeing leave the scenes of the other shootings.
Tonight's shooting comes as investigators are questioning a man in Baltimore in connection with the serial sniper killings around D.C.
Tonight, 13's Lisa Sylvester is live for us in Rockville, Maryland. Lisa?
David and Regina, the latest shooting happened around 9:20 this evening. Now, unlike the previous shootings, police believe they have gotten some very good leads from the public. It had all the fingerprints of the sniper, a woman fatally shot in the parking garage of a Home Depot in Falls Church, Virginia, less than 10 miles from Washington, D.C. In a coordinated effort, police from several jurisdictions almost immediately shut down streets, highways, and exits to look for the sniper. Authorities were searching for a cream or white GMC Safari van. They were also on the lookout for a Dodge van with a damaged rear bumper.
I know that the question in everyone's mind is this shooting related to the others that we've had in the area? It's too early to tell at this point. However, we are working it and investigating it with that potential in mind.
The location where this latest killing took place is called 7 Corners, appropriately named because it's where 7 major roads meet, any one the killer could have used to get away. Detectives with the task force were on the scene, combing the parking garage for clues. Earlier in the day, police thought they had a promising lead. They questioned a Baltimore man who had an AR-15 rifle, consistent with the one used by the sniper, and books on sharpshooting in his apartment. It will likely be hours before police get ballistic results, but so far, there are a lot of similarities. Reporting from Rockville, Maryland, I'm Lisa Sylvester for 13 News. Back to you, David and Regina.
And Lisa also tells us investigators are questioning at least 3 other potential suspects.
We're told they all have several things in common. The men reportedly have emotional problems and access to white trucks, and they're all known to collect firearms. Investigators learned about the men through tips called in from concerned family members and friends. Again, we'll have an update on that breaking news story out of Falls Church, another shooting, possibly the work of the sniper, later in the newscast.
Other news tonight, a baby found abandoned by Portsmouth doctors being cared for by a foster family. And that's where she'll stay until police can find out who she is and where she belongs. As 13's Carlton Houston reports, officers need your help with the investigation.
She's a newborn baby girl spending her first night with a foster family. At the same time, police continue their work to find out who abandoned the baby in a cardboard box early in the morning. She's at the center of a troubling investigation in Portsmouth. A baby girl too young to explain why she was abandoned in a cardboard box.
I'm glad that I came out late, because had I done my normal routine, if the child was put there around 6:30 or 7, I might not have seen it until I came home this evening.
George Orndorff found the baby near some bushes outside his Churchland home. It just so happens he's a Navy doctor. He was out walking his dog when he saw 2 little legs sticking out of a blanket inside a box.
Looked like the baby had tried to get out or move a little bit. So again, it was a very active baby, and to me, I thought it looked in good condition, health-wise.
Mm-hmm. The baby was sent to Maryview Medical Center, where doctors determined she was in relatively good condition and appeared well cared for until this morning. The girl was dressed in a purple onesie and wrapped in a burgundy towel and a white blanket. Police are hoping the evidence will help find out who the child is, but they need help.
At this point, we're just happy that the child is in good condition.
Right now, police say they're just concerned with finding the person who left the child alone, finding the parents of that baby girl. If you can help police with this investigation, you're asked to call the Child Abuse Hotline. The number is 393-9500. In Portsmouth, Carlton Houston, 13 News.
A hazardous material situation aboard the USS Cole tonight. A Navy spokesman tells 13 News that there was a small Freon leak in the refrigeration room. About a dozen people complained of minor symptoms, including headaches, but no one was taken to the hospital. Saturday, by the way, was the second anniversary of the USS Cole terrorist bombing, which left 17 sailors dead and injured many more.
President Bush is warning the nation Al-Qaeda is still on the move and could strike the U.S. again. The president's message comes 2 days after a terrorist bombing in Bali, Indonesia, killed more than 180 people, including 2 Americans. 13's Dave Cassidy has tonight's story from our newsroom in Washington.
2 days after bombs ripped through a nightclub on the resort island of Bali, tourists are getting out.
All we think now is where next.
At least 180 people died in the Bali blast, the biggest terrorist attack since 9/11. 2 Americans were killed, at least 4 others injured.
The attack in Bali has all the hallmarks of an Al-Qaeda attack.
At the White House, President Bush agrees.
Clearly the attacks in Bali, I think we have to assume it's Al-Qaeda. We're beginning to hear some reports that is more definitive than that.
Democratic leaders in Congress share the president's concern.
And we hope this is not a new wave of terrorism, but there continue to be problems in the world, particularly in Muslim countries. And of course, Indonesia has a very large Muslim population.
An Islamic website carries a statement supposedly from Osama bin Laden, claiming credit for a blast which damaged a French tanker and the killing of a U.S. Marine during an attack last week in Kuwait.
We don't know whether bin Laden is alive or dead. You know, they keep floating supposed letters and our radio broadcasts. We do know that Al-Qaeda is still dangerous.
And the president says the U.S. military is ready to fight the war on terror on 2 fronts, against Al-Qaeda and Saddam Hussein. At the White House, Dave Cassidy, 13 News.
Family from the Outer Banks is waiting for word on a loved one caught up in the Bali bombing. 49-year-old David Creasy picked up second-degree burns on more than 60% of his body. He was in Bali having treated himself to an early birthday gift. He was flown to Singapore after the blast. His mother anxious to know if he's okay.
If I could just see a picture, if they could just take a picture and send us to show her, I think I would feel better.
Now, it could be days before doctors can stabilize Creasy and fly him to a burn center at the University of North Carolina.
David, because of the weekend blast today, the State Department listed Indonesia as one of the countries Americans should avoid. Tonight, we sat down with an expert to gauge how safe U.S. travelers are in foreign countries and learn what steps to take for protection. 13's Ramona Parks has those findings from our newsroom.
Our expert tells us that there is no safe place to go without being careful. That's not to say that you shouldn't travel and should just stay in the U.S. Just educate yourself and be aware. At least 180 dead, hundreds more injured. 2 horrific bomb blasts rocked Bali this weekend, possibly the work of terrorists.
No place is safe, and it's like a computer virus. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it happens to you. And the fact that they're American alone, they become a target even before they leave the U.S. soil.
Rock Evick is director of operations for the Travel Advisory Group. The Virginia Beach company escorts missionaries and vacationers overseas, most times into hostile territory. But Evick says travelers still face equal danger in resort cities like Bali.
The more media attention that these people can get, then that's probably an asset to them. So that's why they go to these 5-star hotels. They go to places where people have money.
Still, he predicts you're 10 times more likely to be robbed or killed in an individual attack, not in a massive terrorist plot. That's why people should be prepared. When you first enter a foreign country, register with the embassy and the regional security officer, or RSO. They will warn you of any safety issues during your trip. Give the RSO details about your trip, for instance, what cities you'll be visiting and for how long. And you should also provide emergency contact numbers. Here's a trick. Carry 2 wallets, one in a fanny pack and a second that has old expired credit cards and a little bit of cash in it. This one you can put in your pocket. That way, if someone robs you, you can hand over the dummy wallet and get away with your possessions and your life. In the newsroom, Ramona Parks, 13 News.
And again, we're continuing to follow breaking news tonight in Falls Church, Virginia. Another shooting, a woman killed by a single shot outside of a Home Depot.
The sniper task force is on the scene in a desperate attempt to find the gunman before there is another killing. Stay with us.
The city of Poquoson transforms into a treasure trove of fun for the whole family as the Poquoson Seafood Festival comes to the peninsula. Savor the flavor of Poquoson with the Chesapeake Bay's most succulent seafood. Catch country music star Jessica Andrews or get things rocking with the Atlanta Rhythm section. The autumn sky sizzles with fantastic fireworks. Don't miss Poquoson's famous festival dedicated to the working watermen of Hampton Roads. The Poquoson Seafood Festival, October 18th through the 20th. Brought to you by 13 News and these fine sponsors.
To verify the length of a DQ footlong hot dog, we brought in a certified footlong hot dog inspector. Agent 12.
It's huge.
Buy one at regular price and get the second for just 12 cents.
I have an apology to make. Hello, I'm the voice of the telephone company's automated answering system. Perhaps you recall the 20 minutes we shared together. Isn't it ironic that you were calling us for an additional phone line when we could use a couple of extra lines ourselves? I wished I could make it up to you. Let me suggest Staples. They do all they can to get you in and out quickly because they know how precious your time is.
Get back time. Go to Staples.
The power of GMC.
Nothing from nothing beats nothing.
Nothing beats the power of 0 down, 0 payments till January, and 0% financing on every new GMC.
Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You gotta have something.
Get any new GMC with 0 down, 0 payments till January, and 0% financing. Upgrade to professional grade. See the pros at your GMC dealers before it all ends October 31st.
Nothing from nothing.
I rode my bicycle past your window last night. I roller skated to your door at daylight. It almost seems like you're...
Spend a lot of time calling your family? Join the Alltel Family Freedom Network. You'll get free calling to each other and to your home phone. On select rate plans, get free nights and weekends, free nationwide long distance, and a special deal on a digital phone. Alltel. Are you connected?
New. Toyota has more new choices. Corolla, Matrix, and the most powerful 4Runner ever. All new for 2003. There's Camry, now the best-selling car in America, and still priced below a comparably equipped 2001 model. There's special Camry financing for greater savings, or lease your Camry for 48 months for just $225 a month with $1,850 due at signing. You get air, cruise control, and more. New choices, new savings. Your Toyota dealer has more for you.
To verify the length of a DQ footlong hot dog, we brought in a certified footlong hot dog inspector. Agent 12.
It's huge.
The DQ footlong hot dog, it's huge. Get yours today.
Tonight, our partners at the Pilot are reporting on a plan to solve a common traffic tie-up in Chesapeake.
It'll take crews from VDOT and the U.S. Coast Guard to get the job done right. The problem centers around drawbridge openings, especially at the Steel Bridge on Dominion Boulevard. 13's Benita Harris now with a possible compromise between drivers and boaters.
Drivers in Chesapeake who have to cross over a drawbridge know what it's like to plan their travels around it, hold their breaths before it, and pray for smooth passage across it. But at the Dominion Boulevard Steel Bridge, they never know when they'll run into this when they get to it. It's the sound of free sailing for boaters and frustration for drivers, and it can happen more than 20 times a day.
Kind of sucks you have to wait so long to get home from work.
It sucks. Late for class, late to go to my mom's house.
It's a pain.
It is a pain, but I understand boat traffic too.
That's why the city's working with the Coast Guard on a plan to balance the needs of boaters and drivers. A new proposal would limit recreational boats during rush hour and require commercial vessels give at least 2 hours notice. That way drivers could have time to take another route.
And sometimes I have to go through Crestwood, the old Crestwood way, and come up to try to get in, because the traffic be backed up to back there where the interstate is.
For now, drivers on Dominion Boulevard just have to take their chances.
We've been told there was money, but it's been taken off the budget. If they can put it back on the budget, and if you can do it, I'll love you forever.
Bonita Harris, 13 News, Chesapeake.
Tomorrow, we'll learn how Governor Warner plans to balance the state budget. With a nearly $2 billion shortfall, he warns the speech will only answer some questions. Tonight, we know at least 1,000 state workers will lose their jobs and that no government group will be spared cuts. By law, the governor is not allowed to cut more than 15% of the budget without legislative approval. Look for a full report on the governor's speech tomorrow on 13 News.
Now, your 13 News Weather Lab forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lawson.
Well, we are going to see two different systems really coming together over the next few days and affecting, if not Hampton roads, at least areas pretty close to us. Let's take a look, first of all, at the forecast for a little bit later today during the day on Tuesday. And the clouds thickening in advance of the first one. That is a coastal low we're going to be talking more about. Breezy and cool weather with high temperatures only in the upper 60s. Now, going back 12 hours to the satellite shot, composite radar is well thrown in here, and you'll see some shower activity south of the Outer Banks. Then as we went into the later afternoon and evening, we started to get some of the thicker clouds advancing into the Carolinas, but still just some high thin cirrus clouds here locally. A couple of things, though, to note. Notice a little bit of a spin in the atmosphere here over Texas. That's the upper level of low pressure as it is swinging down into the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, the surface area of low pressure is located probably closer to where I've just drawn it, just south of the Florida Panhandle. That low is still very weak. Once this energy, though, catches up to that low, that's when we'll start to see a pretty significant storm system forming. One that, if it were to stay offshore, would bring a very significant nor'easter to the area. However, it looks like it'll come instead a little bit more inland, and that will help to mitigate the wind a little bit. It'll also mean it's from a slightly different direction. So we can talk more about that again over the next day or two. But at the same time, we have to watch the storm that is trying to become Marco and is predicted to become Marco. It is Tropical Depression 14, sitting stationary right now at 17 degrees north latitude and 83.2 west longitude. No movement at all. Top winds of 35 miles per hour, but the pressure is down 4 millibars in the last 3 hours, which means it is trying to, again, organize and get its act together. Predicted to become a tropical storm near Cuba and then turn into a regular area of low pressure, but with tropical storm force winds. So slight difference there, but more a matter of semantics just to the east of Florida as it heads northeast a couple of days from now. 40s inland, 50s closer to the water, actually still 60s for the Outer Banks. Very chilly air off to the north, and as I mentioned, we have a few spots in the 40s as well. Compared tonight to yesterday, readings have dropped as much as 18, 19 degrees in Central Virginia, Central North Carolina. Norfolk International is 11 degrees cooler. Big spread, 59 south side, but 46 peninsula. Later tonight, the clouds continue to just be sort of the high thin cirrus variety, but they thicken during the day tomorrow, rain developing tomorrow night and ending then early in the day on Wednesday. Increasing high clouds tonight, lower 50s. During the day on Tuesday, upper 60s, thickening clouds, breezy and cool. Out on the water, you'll find winds very strong out of the east and northeast, so we will have small craft advisories. 7-day forecast looks like this. The wet weather, luckily it's a quick moving storm, so Tuesday night into very, very early Wednesday, most of the rain, and then we cool down quite a bit into the weekend.
We do?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, Jeff has the right coast covered. Scott has the left coast covered tonight.
Yeah, so does baseball. The Giants and Angels, we have ourselves a World Series set up. We'll be showing you NLCS highlights, and also, all you Redskins fans, another look at the quarterback, the rookie taking over. And Just a look back at what happened yesterday.
$120 off your monthly payment. 79 cubic feet of cargo room. Add it up, and that's almost 200 reasons to take the weekend and leave your worries behind. The world's best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer, with the most cargo room in its class, plus $3,000 cash back with 0% financing. 0% reduces your payment by up to $120 a month. Visit your neighborhood Ford store and a Ford life.
At McDonald's, we get your hot, fresh breakfast to you fast, so you can slow down.
Stop by this morning and grab a classic Egg McMuffin for just 99 cents. And for only $1 more, add a crispy order of hash browns and a small coffee for a $1.99 extra value meal. So drive through this morning and start your day smiling.
The law offices of Kalfas and Nackman. Maybe they're looking to settle this one, sir.
Seafood, hurry up. I'm hungry.
You are not going to believe what I'm looking at.
Got any gummy bears?
Whatever on the shelf there, Chief.
Can't even tell you.
You don't have to tell her. You can show her. It's PCS Vision from Sprint. They built the largest all PCS enhanced nationwide network. So now your phone can do more than ever.
And I can send it to her. That's unreal.
That'd be my word for it.
Introducing PCS Vision from Sprint. Clearly, a whole new way to look at wireless.
Here's a new spin. 0% APR financing on every 2003 Chevy. The new ones. Get 0% APR on every 2003 Chevy truck. That's one solid deal on every 2003 Avalanche, Trailblazer, S10, Suburban, and Tahoe. Get in for 0% on Chevy trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. New 2003 Chevys, 0% APR at your local Chevy dealer.
And now, 13 Sports with Scott Cash.
The New York Giants moved to San Francisco back in 1957, and they've had some great teams since then, but they've never won a World Series out on the West Coast. They're going to get another chance at it this year. Tonight, the NLCS Game 5. It was nothing into the 7th inning. Kenny Lofton in center field botches this one. It turned into a run after a sacrifice fly brought home Mike Matheny. Bottom of the 8th, runner on, well, bases loaded for Barry Bonds. Another sac fly, my favorite play. Ties the game at 1. We go to the 9th inning. Runners in scoring position for Kenny Lofton, who botched the ball in center field. Giants picked them up in late July. What a pickup, eh? Knocks in the game-winning run, sends the Giants to the World Series. First time since 1989. They beat the Cards 2-1. First game of the Angels-Giants is Saturday. Well, you have your Monday Night Football, and then you have your Monday Night Football high school style. The big showdown on the peninsula got washed out on Friday, so we get to enjoy Phoebus against Hampton tonight. Last year, Phoebus had all the moves. They beat Hampton. Well, they had all the moves at halftime, apparently, tonight as well. Beat Hampton in the regular season and then mauled them in the postseason last year. This play kind of shows you what went on tonight. Philip Brown in the backfield for the Phoebus Phantoms returns the interception for a touchdown. Hampton turned the ball over half a dozen times. You'll see Brown a little bit later. Here comes Phantom again before the half. Elon Lewis, 85 yards for a touchdown, 15-0 Hampton. I mentioned Philip Brown. I've seen one recruiting service that has him as the #1 ranked recruit in the state of Virginia. #2 from Phoebus intercepts that pass. They turned it into a touchdown later, 21-0. But here comes Hampton. Darylyn Fenner makes it 21-7. That would be the only smile for the Hampton Crabber fans, because after that they just jammed it down their throat the rest of the game. Lewis again, 28-7. Phoebus is a really tough, undefeated football team. They beat Hampton tonight. Nansemond River at Deep Creek. The Deep Creek is 5-0 coming into this game, but 3 of their games were pretty close. The Hornets with the ball. Hornets have not lost to a Southeastern District team not named Western Branch since 1993. That was Keshawn Jones with a touchdown for Deep Creek, tying it at 7. Here comes Nansemond River. Travis McPherson, touchdown. That streak I was telling you about is over because Nansemond River stunned Deep Creek tonight, 28-14. On the peninsula, Warwick knocked off Menchville, and Franklin beat Surrey handily tonight. Well, after the game, head coach Steve Spurrier had this to say to his rookie. learn from it. If he's like most rookie quarterbacks who get to start in the NFL, Patrick Ramsey will have plenty more learning experiences. It's not an easy thing stepping in the NFL as a rookie, and it's got to be even harder to learn this offense that Steve Spurrier has, where you're making a lot of changes at the line of scrimmage, and it has to be harder when you get a line that's not blocking very well for you. It was a long day, but he learned some things.
I don't think there's no option but to go home. I mean, you don't go out there with any intention other than playing well and scoring and getting the ball downfield.
Redskins fans aren't any different than others. They can crown a quarterback champ one week and chump the next. The job of any quarterback, but especially a rookie, is to keep a level head no matter what happens each week.
I think you said it. I mean, you keep it all in perspective. You keep in the success from last week in perspective, and you keep this in perspective, and just you learn from both situations. I mean, that's as I said it all week. It's one game.
Ramsey's coach is quick to pull the trigger on his quarterbacks, but Spurrier knows he's dealing with the rookie. There is no talk of a quarterback change for next week's game with the Packers.
It obviously gives you confidence. Sometimes you want to earn your job to stay in there and not have it be an exception. But it does give you confidence that coach is going to stick with me.
The Admirals, their third road game of this young season. A tough one. They get a point because they lost in overtime, a game they tied late in the third period. Matt Henderson with a game-tying goal, but they fall to Albany. They're home on Friday night. Monday Night Football, the regular style, not FIBA's Hampton, and it was all about Terrell Owens. Touchdown pass to put the 49ers up ahead for good as they beat the Seahawks. And that's the reason we're here right now. 28-21, you're fun.
All right, thanks, Scott.
Okay.
And update on our top story when we come back.
That is breaking news tonight out of Falls Church, Virginia. A woman killed in a shooting there. Police now trying to determine if it is, again, the work of the serial sniper. Traffic, as you might imagine, a mess as the dragnet reaches through D.C. tonight. We'll have a live update when we return.
Okay here? Really into TVs? Then get into Best Buy and check out our huge selection of the brands you want. And if you purchase by October 19th, you'll pay no interest for 18 months. That's interest-free payments on every TV, from digital to plasma, for a full year and a half. Sweet. Best Buy. Go ahead. Turn on the fun.
Here we go, baby. Here we go. Hit one out. Hit one out. Bagger. Yank it out of here. Hurry. Long ball. Hit one out.
You're unrelenting? So are we. With Suncom Subscription Wireless, we offer the highest quality digital network, which is why our customers have had the benefit of 99.8% call completion.
Thank you.
So stay demanding.
Hit another one out. Hit another one out. Hit another one out. Out of the park. Hit another one.
We're Suncom, and we get it.
Transmission problems? Why take it to your car dealer? Take it to the experts. AMCO. With over 700 locations, AMCO centers service more transmissions in a day than the average car dealer does in a year. For a job done right, guaranteed, at a price that's right. AMCO. AA. MCO.
Slide it on in. Nice car. Of course, man. It's the most expensive car in America, dude.
That's weird. Mine's the most affordable. How many does your seat?
Well, they say 2, but...
Well, my reel can fit all you ladies comfortably.
That's great, Junior.
I even have a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and only paid around $9,000, which means I saved around $486,000.
$486,000, huh?
Visit your Hampton Roads Kia retailers. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Do you have protection?
5 years roadside assistance.
A national treasure, 31 years on television, helping you make your dreams come true. The Hour of Power with Robert Schuller.
Closed captioning of 13 News is sponsored by Charles Barker Lexus.
Let's recap our top story for now. A woman is shot dead in Falls Church, Virginia tonight.
And right now, police in that area are trying to determine if tonight's shooting can be traced back in any way to the serial sniper who is now responsible for 8 deaths in the last 12 days.
This latest incident happened around 9:15 in a crowded shopping center near the parking garage of a Home Depot. Police confirm it was a single shot that brought the woman down.
And that shot was fired from a van, and police, of course, tonight in the D.C. area have shut lots of roads and highways. Officers specifically looking for a cream-colored Chevy Astro van with the right rear taillight out.
We have a 13 News crew monitoring any overnight developments. Look for that report starting at 5 a.m. on 13 News Daybreak. And that's our news for 11. Nightline is next.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. 13 News Daybreak at 5 tomorrow morning. The latest updates.